Yes, of course. My name is Sanne Bolkenstein. I'm 28 years old, and I'm here on behalf of AfriPads, which is the company that I started in Uganda, which produces washable sanitary pads.
And how did you come up with this idea for washable sanitary pads?
Well, the first time I was in Uganda was in 2009, so it's 5 years ago, and I was working on a school, and I noticed that it was a primary school, and that after the fourth year, the number of girls started declining way more than the number of boys. So when I asked how come, then I was explained that this was because they start menstruating, and because they don't have access to affordable hygiene products. They rely on things like newspaper, toilet paper, rags, banana leaves, and apart from these solutions not being hygienic, they're also not sufficient. So out of embarrassment, out of leakage, fear of leakage, the girls stay at home. And so this causes them to miss school. And when I learned that, then I thought, okay, this is such a huge problem because all women and girls in developing countries are faced with this, and we should be able to tackle this. So that's why we developed a washable pad, and because it's washable, you can reuse it. So you can use one set for a whole year, and thereby it's way more cost effective than disposable pads.
And is it hygienic to keep one pad for a year?
Yes, that's what a lot of people actually ask, which is a natural question, I guess, because we're so used to using things and then throwing them away immediately. But what is important to say in this is that we have been tested by the Uganda National Bureau of Standards, and we actually adhere to the same criteria for absorption and hygiene as disposable pads. So for the human beings, we're not a separate product. We are menstrual pads, and therefore we have to be certified according to the same standards as for disposable pads. So that means we're just as hygienic as disposable pads. Of course, you need to wash them properly. So it's important really to teach girls about that as well. But once you do, it's just as hygienic as disposable pads.
And are they affordable for the girls?
Yes, they are. We are approximately 10% of the cost of an annual supply of disposable pads. So you can see that the cost reduction is actually really, really big. And that makes our products accessible for a lot of girls who currently do not have access to any affordable product.
Can you give us some figures? How many girls are using it? What are your sales figures?
So since we started, we started really small. Like the first year, we only had sales of 10,000 kits. But at this moment, we've already sold over 400,000 kits. So that means we've helped over 400,000 girls. And what's also really important is that we employ local women who tailor these kits. We started with one, but at the moment we have a staff of 150. So that's 150 incomes that we're providing in rural Uganda to women.
And are you only active in Uganda or also in other countries?
Well, our production facility is in Uganda, but we are exporting to 20 countries at the moment in the continent. So we get requests from all over, and if possible, then we do export there. At the moment, the biggest export countries are the neighboring countries: Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda. South Sudan is really an emerging market for us as well. Obviously, because of transport, because of the proximity, it's quite affordable. But also in terms of import tariffs, because they're in the East African community, there are no import tariffs, whereas if we export elsewhere, then we are faced with that problem. But our vision for the future is that we want to open multiple production facilities, and that each facility provides for their own market. So.
And can you reach the girls in the outback or only in the cities?
Well, for this we are really relying on our partners like Plan International. We are really focusing on production at the moment, and we do not have the capability to go out into the market and sell the product ourselves. So for this we rely on a partner like Plan, who's buying from us and subsidizing the price so that the bottom of the pyramid, like the end users, can also purchase our pads, thereby growing our market. And because we're growing, our cost price is going down. And also they're training local women to sell the pads into their community. So really through their network, we are able to reach even the most, the most remote areas. But we really need a partnership for that.
And how long will Plan subsidize this?
Well, we have a partnership at the moment, which is hopefully going to last for 4 years, which is the plan. But obviously, we also have a long-term model where our cost price will go down significantly, and it will actually be affordable without subsidizing. However, it's still difficult to estimate how long that will actually take, because it's just there's so many factors to be taken into account. Also, of course, political circumstances, cultural circumstances. We are still running into a lot of errors that we haven't seen coming before. So it's difficult to really predict, but we do see that it's possible in the future. Yes.